What's going on, everyone? So, a lot of questions surrounding LeBron James recently, right? Obviously, a lot of trade talks, conversations, particularly with the Golden State Warriors. I mean, you hear that almost every year. A lot of that started because of the Golden State Warriors inquiring about him last season. Lakers aren't, the top three seed this season. So, there's kind of the questions of like, okay, well, could LeBron potentially be available? I also think part of it is just like LeBron is notorious for kind of just throwing stuff out to put pressure on the organization. I'm sure it's probably a little bit of that. But he's also, missed. He's away from the team for personal reasons, right? Missed practice the other day. He's expected to miss the game today. That, of course, has sparked a whole new whirlwind of speculation and rumors and stuff. Very well could be just personal reasons, like he said, right? It very well, he's dealing with a foot issue. It could be he just wants to go get his foot looked at and evaluated, and they don't want to make that public because, you don't want that to be some big concern or something, or, if you do end up trading him or something, right? Like there's reason that you want to kind of keep that hush-hush if he's going to go get have a doctor meeting just to kind of get his foot looked at, that he's been dealing with that foot issue for a couple years now, right? And, I've seen people talk about, he's weighing the potential of being traded, right? He's talking to his families, talking to Rich Paul. And look, all of those could be true, right? You're trying to guess something that you may never even end up getting the answer to. But there were, a lot of like these anonymous execs talking about the various things. Can you win with LeBron? The Lakers win with LeBron. Where should LeBron James end up being traded to if he was to be traded? I believe the only place that LeBron James would go to be traded to and leave the Lakers from is the Golden State Warriors. Again, I could be completely wrong, but he's here for his family. He's with the Lakers for his family. His wife wanted to be here. His children want to go to school here. The Golden State Warriors are close enough. He's a billionaire. He could go buy a private jet and fly the 30-minute flight, right? Like, it's not the end of the world for him. Like, he could get through it. He'd be okay. But, the other team is, the Sacramento Kings is what some of these execs are saying, like, hey, De'Aaron Fox, a bonus, add LeBron James, they could have the pieces that they need. They kind of made a blunder by going and getting DeMar DeRozan, and they didn't really need DeMar DeRozan. The problem with that is, one, would LeBron want to go to Sacramento over Golden State where he could play with Steph Curry? Like, the whole reason he would want to go to Golden State is because of Steph, because him and Steph have made it very apparent that they want to play together, right? Like, so if he's going to go anywhere and he was going to leave the Lakers, I think it would be to go play with Steph. He gets still close enough to be with his family. It's kind of a win-win situation, right? Like I said, he could take the 30, 40-minute flight. Like, it'll be fine. He'll survive, right? Like, that's kind of my logic in that regard. I still don't believe he'll leave. It's one of those things, I'll believe it when I see it. Or when we get the news, LeBron James has requested a trade, then I'll be like, okay, like, here we go, right? But until we get that news, I don't buy it personally. However, just to have the exploratory conversation, let's talk about the Sacramento Kings. Let's say he does want to go to Sacramento. Slight problem. One, Lakers can't take back money. They're a first apron team, right? Two, Sacramento is hard capped at the first apron because they did a sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan. So you'd have to get a third team involved because the Lakers can't take back extra money. Sacramento can't go over the hard cap, right? Like, so how do you make this work? Well, first off, you're going to have to trade DeMar DeRozan, right? Then you're looking at like Kevin Huerter just for salary purposes. And then you're looking at like, Keegan Murray, and you probably have to throw in another like salary to, one of these young guys to one of these teams or something, right? That's a lot of hurdles to get over. Trading LeBron is hard, period. Even the Warriors would have an incredibly tough time. Sacramento, it would be even more challenging. Just because, again, all the hoops that you'd have to jump through in order to get it. Because, Golden State, yeah, you have to work out a third team. They're both aprons, so they're both restricted. But you also have Sacramento, who did the sign and trade, hard cap now, and it's a completely different scenario, right? So, also with assets, it's not like you have, which, LeBron James at this stage, LeBron James at, 27, you're probably giving up Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, and, like 7 firsts, and it's probably still looked at as a fleece by them, right? Like, 40-year-old, year 22 LeBron James, still getting a pretty good return. He's still, a top 10, 15 player in the league. But you're not getting some huge haul. So, like, pick-wise and stuff like that, I get. Is that something that the Lakers would want to do, too? Because you got to keep in mind, like, yes, LeBron has some control, but the Lakers also don't have to trade him this season. And if you're going to hit the reset button by trading LeBron James, then you probably don't want to take on, like, Kevin Huerter and his money and DeMar DeRozan and his money, and now you're just stuck with all these bad contracts. Like, Keegan Murray would make some sense if you're rebuilding, if you're retooling. But do you really want DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Huerter? Like, do they really want that? Probably not, right? Now, could DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Huerter together, right? Like, could those two paired with Anthony Davis, you trade the assets, so basically DeMar DeRozan is like your second guy alongside Anthony Davis. You add in, the Kevin Huerter and the Keegan Murray. Can you take your assets and go make a push, go make a trade, go basically do what you were going to do with LeBron anyway and see if you can go make a push, see if maybe you can go win a championship? Sure, you could maybe do that, but are you really winning a chip? Like, is Keegan Murray, DeMar DeRozan, and Kevin Huerter, are they the equivalent of LeBron James, particularly at come playoff time, if you are to get to the finals, right? Like, it's just the experience, the IQ, his ability to just take over at any moment, the plays making that he can make. Like, I don't really see it. Like, the Lakers are almost better. Because realistically, if you're trading LeBron James, you're resetting, right? Like, maybe you're not trading Anthony Davis this season, but you're trading Anthony Davis probably in the offseason, right? Bare minimum. So unless Anthony Davis is like, no, I really want to stay here, let's try to work this out, then maybe then. But even then, that's probably not the best package. You'd probably still want to send him to the Warriors and get like the Kuminga and Moody and stuff like that, because maybe you can take all that stuff and Reeves and things like that and go get another star, right? Maybe at that point you have enough pieces to, if a star becomes available in the offseason, you can work out some type of trade, you can work out some type of move, right? Like, and just kind of ride it out this season. But realistically speaking, if you trade LeBron, you're probably trading Anthony Davis sooner or later, right? So then at that point, it doesn't make any sense for you to take, Huerter and DeRozan and all that stuff. So I just don't see that. I don't really buy it. I get the idea of like De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and LeBron James. I still don't know if that wins, right? I still don't know if you're better, but like, again, Sacramento's problem is size and particularly defense, right? They don't have perimeter defense. They don't have the defense to keep up. They can score a bunch of points. Yeah, LeBron will get you the scoring. I'm a Laker guy. His defense is not what it once was, right? Like, he takes possessions off entirely, right? And you don't have Anthony Davis to help mask some of LeBron's, possessions off on the defensive end. Right, Sabonis is not covering the defensive ground that Anthony Davis covers. So for LeBron, it doesn't really make sense. Like, across the board, I don't think it makes sense for anybody. I think LeBron has a better chance of winning in Golden State. I think it makes more sense for him to go to Golden State. I think he gets to team up with Steph Curry. He's still close enough to his family, right? Like, Sacramento, I just don't think makes sense, right? Like, again, I think you're better, but if this was 27-year-old LeBron or 30-year-old LeBron, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, Sacramento's winning the chip, right? Like, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, LeBron James, like, good luck, right? He's done more with less, right? Like, so, yes, I could see that happening. But 40-year-old LeBron, I don't even think, don't get me wrong, Sacramento would probably do it, because Sacramento, and they probably want to just have LeBron in a jersey, right? But I just don't think it makes sense even for Sacramento, right? To maybe not have to, maybe to get off of some of that money and stuff. And then, like, if LeBron leaves, it's like, oh, or he retires or whatever. It's like, cool, we got off of that money. I don't see it happening. I think it's kind of silly, but as always, this is a discussion. I pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? Would you like to see him join the Sacramento Kings. It's just, again, there's just too many obstacles for it to not make sense, right? Like, like if it was something where it's like, yeah, like if you're Sacramento, you could do that. Yeah, like it doesn't make sense for LeBron, doesn't make sense for Sacramento, and on top of that, you'd have to jump through an insane amount of hoops to pull it off for it to not make sense, right? Like if it was like, man, that's a perfect sense, right? Like you got 2 stars at LeBron James, boom, right? Like, sure, but I don't think it. I just don't buy it. But do you feel the same way? Do you not? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. So again, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.